I want to make a quick video on a fantastic show that is very underwatched, and that is Link Click. The show is a danhua. I definitely butchered that. It's a Chinese anime, which is probably the main reason no one is watching it, which is a real shame because this is worth a watch. So what is it about? We have a sci-fi-esque plot with characters with really interesting time travel related abilities. We are introduced to them quite quickly as we try and figure out how they work. We have two main characters. One of them seems to be the guide, while the other one takes control of someone by going to the past through a photograph and taking control of the person that took said photograph. Now, that might sound weird, but trust me, it's cool. And that setup with the two main characters and their powers are the spine of the show. It's kind of a sort of a photo of the episode type of thing, except some of them do span multiple episodes, and importantly, everything is connected. There is an actual overarching plot, and everything that is done is important. Now, why are they going to the past in the first place? Well, it's their job. They take clients' requests and go to the past to fulfill whatever is demanded of them. Maybe someone wishes they could have spent more time doing something else. Maybe they just have some other form of regret that they want to get past. However, these characters, although they can go back in time, they are not trying to actually alter the past in a way that would affect the present. And that brings us to a very interesting dynamic between the two main characters. We have the cool-headed guide that wants to ensure that nothing gets drastically changed, and the character actually in control that really wants to do what he thinks is right in order to truly help the clients. One of the big appeals of this show is the characters. Of course, we have the main characters with the developments mentioned already, but you also have all of the characters involved through the photos, and those stories are incredible. Now, I don't mean that in the sense that they're like mind-blowing stories. I mean that you will be emotionally impacted by the lives of these people. The clients want to change things for a reason, so we end up getting hit by a lot of painful emotions, and being able to empathize with the pain of both those characters and the main character who has to live as that person experiencing those emotions over and over again. It's pretty heavy stuff. And genuinely, this is a show that is absolutely worth checking out. Now, with all that being said, there are two things we need to keep in mind. First off, a sort of smaller detail. A second season is confirmed, so the story isn't over yet. If you're someone that only watches shows when they are completely finished, hold off on it for a bit. But if you don't mind, just keep in mind a bit of a cliffhanger ending, so fun. Secondly, I mentioned that this is a sci-fi-esque plot, as in like sort of sci-fi, and I say that because it isn't technically sci-fi as far as I'm aware, because there's no actual science involved in these powers. They just have these powers. How did they get them? That's never explained. Maybe it'll be explained in the second season, but I somehow doubt it. I think you're just meant to accept that that happens. Though it could be really interesting to see if it is explained in the second season. So those powers fall more in line with fantasy than actual sci-fi in a way, but the plot itself is more sci-fi in my mind. And secondly, and probably more importantly, this isn't Steins Gate, right? It's not going to have the most perfect time travel element. Like, I believe that the way the time travel is handled in this show works well. And if you just sort of accept it, give it a little bit of leeway, it'll work out fine and it'll make sense. If you need it to be perfect, or if you have a habit of nitpicking things, you'll probably find you will definitely find flaws in it, and it might detract from your experience with the show. I would hope that it doesn't, but I'm just putting that as a word of warning so you're prepared for it. I don't want to trick people into thinking that it's perfect. It isn't. it is, in my opinion, very good enough. Like, it shouldn't hinder your enjoyment or anything. But of course, it depends, again, if you nitpick things and stuff. So yeah, that's what you should expect from this show. A really damn cool premise, some pretty good characters, and a really engaging story. I haven't even mentioned these things since I'm not good at explaining things as it is. This show also has fantastic animation, let's make that clear. And the music's pretty damn cool as well. Like, the openings and endings are pretty banging. So there's more to it than just what I've said. So long as you don't need absolute perfection in your time travel, which, understandable if you do, then Link Click is absolutely worth the watch. And I hope that you give the show a chance. Also, watch this video before you go into this, just so that you don't accidentally overhype yourself. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this to people's attention since it's quite unpopular for how good it is. So yeah, that's it for me.